Back here on CBS Sports HQ, Hakeem Dermish here with you. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft Friday night. Here's a look at the best players available according to CBSSports.com. Joey Porter Jr., Brian Branch, Will Levis, Michael Mayer, Drew Sanders. What do they all have in common? All earning first-round grades, but none of them selected in the first round. You got a ton of talent right there on the board, and they are still among the best available going into Friday. All right, back here with two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden, CBS Sports draft analyst Ryan Wilson. BMAC was drafted in the second round in 2005. Steelers got themselves a key piece to their defense. Pittsburgh has the first pick in the second round, BMAC. If you're the GM for the Steelers, who you drafting for Pittsburgh?
Yo, Pittsburgh, they're in the best position in day 2 of the NFL draft because you have some quality players, as you mentioned, Hakeem, available. For me, I feel like the best route for Pittsburgh to improve would be to address the offensive line position, which they were able to do in the first round, and go back and add depth and talent in the secondary, specifically speaking the cornerback position, because I felt like that was the deepest position compared to the offensive line side of things. So if you look at what's available, Joey Porter Jr., clearly significant ties to the organization. His father played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, well respected in the city. He understands the culture there. That would be the best move for me because I think you need to improve when it comes to the talent level. Or a guy like Brian Branch, who's more of a nickel-type guy, can be that C.J. Gardner-Johnson type player for you in the secondary that can do a lot, can be a safety, can be a box, could be a nickel, could do a lot of big-time things for you. But I think the best route to go when you talk about having a corner who's 6'2", 6'3", ran 4.5, extremely lengthy, a coachable kid, great guy on and off the football field, I think Joey Porter is the ideal name for the Pittsburgh Steelers in round 2.
Those measurables, also the 34-inch arms, that also explains someone named Juju Brents, the cornerback out of Kansas State. So he could be an option as well. Two other names I'll mention to you, B-Mac. They need help at linebacker. I know they got some guys in free agency. Drew Sanders is sitting out there, edge rush ability.
Yeah.
He's going to be a 4-5 guy. He didn't run because of a hamstring during the pre-draft process. Had a great season in Arkansas. And one other name I'll mention, Keon White, the huge edge rusher out of Georgia Tech, weighed about 280, heavy hands. He can play 5 technique. He can reduce inside if you need him to. Adds that versatility along the defensive line, Hakeem.
So if you're going to give me one guy who's going to be best available, if you have that pick for the Steelers, who are you taking?
B-Mac, I think I'm taking Brian Branch because of his versatility, the safety at Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We know that the quarterback that has not been taken, I mean, that's been well documented here. Will Levis, you also got Hendon Hooker on the board. In terms of best quarterback available, Will Levis, slam dunk here, the best quarterback available, and why don't you think that he was drafted in the first round, Ryan?
I'm going to check my big board here. At 36, I have Hendon Hooker. At 43, I have Will Levis. So I've always had Hendon above Will Levis. And I think Will Levis has fallen, and you see here the best available quarterbacks. Jake Haener has a chance to sneak into day 2, late third round, excuse me. But I think Will Levis has slipped because just like last year, B-Mac, the media fell for all the hype with the Matt Corrals, the Malik Willises, the Desmond Ritters. All those guys went on in the third round. Sam Howell went in the 5th round, and I think that's part of the issue with Will Levis. Great physical specimen. The tape didn't match that physicality, and I think that's a concern by some NFL teams. And then Hendon Hooker had a great season for Tennessee, Hakeem. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL late, and he's 25 years old. But I think it's going to be interesting to pick 36 where the Rams currently sit, whether they take quarterback and which one it ends up being.
Yeah, for me, I think Hendon Hooker is the next best available quarterback, even though he's dealing with an ACL injury. Because whatever quarterback goes in the second round, guys, they're not going to a situation where they're asked to be the starter right now. So they're in a position where they can sit and wait. And that's the best situation for Hendon Hooker because he's not healthy. And outside of Hendon Hooker, what about Clayton Tune from Houston? I mean, if you really watch his game film, you would be extremely surprised with how he throws the football and the consistency in which he displays in regards to accuracy as well. So just watching college tape, right? If you factor in Will Levis compared to some of the other guys that are available at the quarterback position, he wasn't that consistent. That's just what the tape tells all of us. Now, the hype and the potential might say otherwise, but when you talk about just factoring what these guys have done on Saturday, right, with the guys surrounding them, Hendon Hooker has been more consistent, Clayton Tune has been more consistent. So there's a lot of other guys that could hear their names called based on how we've seen the flow of the quarterback position so far in day one.
Well, we know the order at the top here, right? The Steelers, Arizona, Detroit, Indy, they all have their quarterbacks. The Rams have a quarterback
36.
in Matthew Stafford, but he's at the end of his career. So, Ryan, if you're the Rams here, and welcome to the draft, the LA Rams, they've yet to make a selection. They'll make one here in day 2 unless they trade out. What's the better fit? Are you going to go Hendon Hooker? Or are you going to go Will Levis if you're the Rams?
It's Hendon Hooker, and it's close. Will Levis has the upside, of course, but he's not that much younger than Hendon Hooker, who started at Virginia Tech, got better each and every year, was a legit Heisman Trophy candidate, as I said before, and was the engine of that offense last year. And we talked to Jalen Hyde, the wide receiver who's going to get drafted tomorrow, and Darnell Wright, who was already drafted today, the right tackle from Tennessee as well. They both said to a person, Hendon was always the first one there, always the last one to leave, the hardest worker, and that feels like a natural fit into what Sean McVay wants to do. And there's no projecting with Will Levis. You know what you have in Hendon Hooker. With Will Levis, you have to say, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Can we get there?
Well, and a couple of his receivers are still on the board, right? Jalen Hyde, Cedric Tillman. Let's turn our attention to the top offensive player, aside from the quarterbacks here, BMAC. Who's still on the board that you like on the offensive side of the football?
Tajay Sanders, talented running back from Tulane, around 5'10", over 200 pounds, extremely fast, big-time contributor out of the backfield as a pass catcher, not to mention running the football. And it's just seeing the flow of running backs, right? We saw 2 running backs go top 12. I wouldn't be surprised to see a running back go early in the second round, and he's one of the best to do it when you talk about just being consistent and just showing up big time. For Tulane last year, he's a guy that really put the entire offense on his back and did not disappoint as well. So I look at him, I can easily see his name being called early in the second round. Like I said, the surprising notoriety that this position has received so far in day 1, that could be a continuing trend in day 2 for the running back position.
And it's funny you say that, because the tight end class is incredibly deep this year. Only one tight end went in day 1, Dalton Kincaid. Michael Mayer is 15th on my board, my big board. He's still out there. He is my favorite offensive player out there, and he'll have an opportunity to go pretty early on day 2, I would imagine, although there could be running other tight ends as well. Luke Musgrave, Sam Laporta, Darnell Washington are also some names to keep an eye on. But Michael Mayer was the only show in town offensively. They had struggles with the quarterback position, but you wouldn't know it to watch Michael Mayer play. He plays in the slot. He'll play in line. He's a really good blocker for a tight end in this day and age, and he is an absolute, look at this, the change of direction, the ability to run through people and to finish the plays. That's what you like to see. Looks like a Notre Dame tight end. It's going to help whatever team he lands on immediately. Wasn't quite the athlete of Dalton Kincaid, and that's why he probably slipped, but a really good player, King.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know where to go, right? Detroit. Take TJ Hawkinson. They got, they traded him out. I mean, hey, Mayer to Dan Campbell and biting some kneecaps. Sounds like a good fit to me. We'll see if that plays out on day 2. All right, defensive player now. Your top defensive player available. BMAC, I know that you love Joey Porter Jr. Who's another name that you like that's still on the board?
Brian Branch.
Yep.
I love the versatility of Drew Sanders as well. He's been an off-the-ball linebacker for Arkansas, but also a big-time rusher when given the opportunity to do so. The versatility is there, around 6'4", 250, 260, big guy. He has a little bit of T.J. Watt-ish to his game when you talk about rushing as an edge rusher. And you talked about some of the injury concerns, Ryan. I think that has been a knock on him. But when you turn the tape, even when he was at Alabama before he transferred, he balled out. He balled out. Remember, he was opposite of Will Anderson in 2021, and then transferring to Arkansas last year, he showed a big time. The versatility with Brian Branch, I really love as well. I think he would hear his name called early in the second round. So there's a lot of value in the second round for these teams to pick from. It's all about finding the best fit for what they need and just moving forward and pulling that name on the card.
That's right. Joey Porter is currently 13th on my big board. He is still out there. We talk about Brian Branch, Drew Sanders, Keon White. The list goes on and on. Juju Brents, you see as well. You see Brian Branch making this play here. He played in the nickel, the star position for Nick Saban. And here's the thing. You have to be the smartest player on the field to play that position. And Nick Saban, as you guys might know, is a tough guy to play for. This young man made very few mistakes. And if he were healthy, he was on the field. He timed 4.8. He plays so much faster than that. And I think he has a real chance to be one of the first guys drafted when we start this thing over. I was going to say tomorrow, but it's going to be in a few hours.
B-Mac, are you running to the podium? You're going to just camp out there with the card that has Joey Porter Jr.'s name on it for day 2 here for the Steelers?
I mean, there's no need to run because
just camp out.
For you to move out of the spot at 32, you got to get something in return that you're extremely pleased with. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you need to address the depth in the secondary. I mean, that's the name I would go with. Like I said, 6'2", 6'3", had him on the podcast over a week ago, told him, me personally, I believe he reminds me a lot of Dale Carter, extremely talented cornerback in the day that was extremely long, and he had those praying mantis-type arms, can reach out and touch you from anywhere in the football field to be disruptive in the line of scrimmage and bump and run. So that will be my pick.
Sounds like a good fit to me. Sounds like a great fit. You guys, your fit looks great here on day 1 of the NFL Draft as we look ahead to day 2 of the NFL Draft. And again, here's a look at the draft order at the top. Steelers have the first pick on day 2. You can follow each and every pick with our NFL Draft Tracker on the CBS Sports app. For now, the Steelers are on the clock.